Hi there, I'm Shelley and behind the camera is Sep.
Hi.
And today we're going to show you this mid-century modern chair that's in desperate need of some restoration. Unfortunately, it's not as good as it looks, and we're going to show you a close-up now of what the problems are with this chair. Here's the seating. As you can see, it's got marks all along here. The seating's actually out of leather and these are scratches from a cat, I presume. At the back it's all there as well. So we need, first of all, a new piece of leather and we need to recover the seating. And luckily enough, I've got a little rest left over, otherwise it would have been an expensive job. So, new seat. Then if we look underneath, we've got this corner over here where someone has done an awful botch job, which means the screws are going to come out, the wood comes off. It's all got to be tucked down, stripped back to how it was, and we've got to build it back up again. On this side is exactly the same. Someone's just put a screw in here so it holds into position. This all needs taking apart and looking at. Then we've got up here this arm just of here. Here needs also some glue on it. It's a little bit, it's not stuck properly anymore, so it needs a bit of glue in there. We're going to unscrew all the screws that have been done on here to have a look at this botch job. As you can see just of here, the dowling has broken off. This dowling's broken up here and someone's put some awful amount of glue on there. It's not glue, it's like honey. It's sticky and awful, it isn't set. So we've got to somehow remove all of that. We're then going to take out this piece of wood to have a look to see what we can do with it. Our next job is going to be to clean everything up, get rid of all this glue that's on there, perhaps replace the dowling, and we're going to repair this with wood glue. Once the pieces are back on, here they are here, these little pieces, once they're back on, then we've got to allow it to sit, and then we should be able to drill 2 more holes in there so we can put some dowling in over here. If this doesn't work, we've then got to remake this piece. Sep's cleaned all the pieces up and now we're going to glue it all back together again. And usually we glue all the 3 pieces back on together, but there's little splinters that are missing. So we're going to do it bit for bit. And first of all, we're going to take this piece and we're going to glue this piece onto here. And we're going to put this piece of dowling in, just so that we're making sure there's enough room in there. We're not going to glue this in yet, but we're going to make sure there's just enough room for the dowling in there, and we're going to glue these pieces into position. We're going to use a clamp and clamp it into position, and once that's dried, then we're going to add the other 2 pieces. Sep's put a little bit of tape around the dowling so that we can pull it out again and it doesn't glue into position. Now this piece of wood is glued into position and is hard. We've left it 24 hours. I can now take the dowling out and now I can add this other piece. It goes on here like this and it will be glued into position. This one is going to be glued as well onto there, but if you see on this side, if I can just hold it into position, there's some little splinters missing. Sep's made some splinters to go in there. They all fit in there nicely. It's going to glue them in as well. There's the splinters. As well as this piece of dowling, this is also now going to be glued into position. You've just seen how Sep with the chisel has cut off the splinters and then has put in new dowling here and here and on the other end. So this means now we've got to remove the dowling here. Sep's just done the sanding, and here is the line where Sep's glued it together, and you can hardly see it anymore. We're now ready to glue the chair back together again. We're going to put lots of glue in the holes, wood glue in the holes. It will come out and we'll just have to wipe it all off. We've got to pull the chair apart very carefully. We don't want it to split at the back, otherwise we're going to be starting all over again. So just very carefully pulling the chair apart so that we can get the dowling in. Once they're in, we're then going to clamp it together and we're going to leave it for 24 hours to dry. Once that's done, then we can start on the arm. You saw at the beginning of the film that this arm isn't quite glued in properly, so we're going to pull this apart just a little bit and put some glue in there and then press it back together again. Our chair is now finished. All it needs is the seating, and here's the upholstery that I've done for the seating. If you want to see this film, then you can see it next time. We're going to show you how to reupholster the seat for this chair. So now we're going to screw it together and then you'll be able to see the finished product.